Gene Mankey. That's okay. That's all right.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
It's a big group. Yeah, actually, there's a couple of fun things on the agenda. The Poppies, right? And then youth council is here. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah.
Thanks for putting me on.
Yeah. Got you. I come back. Great. You're doing all the work, so.
Somebody had to go get their glasses, so we'll be right. I'll call this meeting to order on Monday, November the 5th, 2018. Want to welcome everybody. It sounds like we got a full house tonight, which is great. Very glad to have with us tonight Pastor Eldrin Morrison from the Shaw Temple AME Zion Church, who will come forth this time and give our invocation and also lead us in the pledge of the flag. So would everyone please rise?
Let us pray. Eternal Father, creative God, we thank you for how good you have been to our city, to our state, and to our country, and indeed to this world. We thank you that you are yet and still in charge of all things. We pray your presence tonight in this gathering, that there might be peace and there might be harmony even among us. And as we are here tonight gathered, our hearts are still and yet with those who lost their lives in Pittsburgh. We pray blessings upon the families that remain. We pray, O God, for the outcome of tomorrow's elections, that throughout this country, your will might be done. Bless our gathering tonight. In the name of him who was and is to come. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those folks that are new in town that like to stop by and maybe visit the Shaw Temple AME Zion Church, I'm sure they'd love to have you. Or if you want to change or just start going to church, I'm sure they'd love to have you. Agenda changes. The only thing that we have in the agenda changes is that item 4A, 2018-347, which is a public hearing. That item will be tabled without discussion tonight until December the 3rd, 2018. I believe those are the only changes. Under the mayoral report, I do want to mention that, again, that what I haven't yet, tomorrow is election day. To remind everybody to go vote. Polls are open from 7 to 7. And I always give those folks that are running for office an opportunity at this time to quickly come up and just tell us what you're running for, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So if there's anyone here that's running for office, that, y'all come on up.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. I am Deanna Harris. I'm the nominee for state representative for District 41, which is the Smyrna and Marietta area. And I want to encourage everyone, if you haven't done early voting, please get out and vote tomorrow. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Looking to make a change in the District 41. My platform is based on economic development, our education system, and transportation solution, and also tax relief for working class citizens and seniors. I would love to speak with you. Amen. I would love to speak with you if you have any questions. My website is vote4harris.org, or you can call me on my cell phone and talk to me, 678-568-3985. Thank you.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Jennifer Jordan. I am the current state senator for District 6, which encompasses this area. Thank y'all. I'm just happy to be here, and I do encourage everyone to vote, but I also want to say thank you to the officials of Smyrna who have been so incredible in terms of working with the state electeds as well. I think all of y'all know this, but y'all have incredible representation here at the city, and they're working for y'all all the time, and it's so important to have those partnerships, so I just really appreciate it. And I will just kind of echo what you said. Everybody, please get out and vote. It's important that all of us have a voice in the process, and I would love to have your vote as well. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always talk to me. Thank y'all so much.
Anyone else that's running for public office? Okay. Before we get into item A under mayoral report, I do want to just mention that I know that I'm saddened and the city's saddened at the unexpected death of Judge Harris Hines, who was killed in a car wreck yesterday afternoon on 85 close to Cleveland Avenue. He had served on the Supreme Court of Georgia and Superior Court, was a longtime friend of Smyrna and Cobb County, and his death is just a shock to all of us. So keep his family in your prayers and thoughts. So, item 3A, 2018-447, character education presentation from Nickajack Elementary. I heard some kids or not kids, young'uns, I guess. Yeah, you don't know what to say. Kids or young'uns, I probably was wrong on both of them, but they're here, and I'm glad that they're here because we started the character education program. My goodness, I'm gonna tell you who the principal was. Mona Lee Gillespie was. Does that ring any bells? Mona Tucker, maybe. Mona Tucker, and they were the first ones. So we've got the 5th grade students from Nickajack Elementary, and whoever's got the Mr. Mike, you want to introduce the kids first, or what do you want to do? Why don't you introduce you?
All right, so we have with us Laura Meyer, our principal at Nickajack. She's in the back.
Where's Laura? Thanks.
And Miss Curley is one of our 5th grade teachers here to see her students.
All right.
Danny McClure is our PBIS coach and speech language pathologist. And my name is Nicole Weber. I'm one of the school counselors. I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves.
I am Reagan Harris.
I'm Ronald Barnes.
I'm Josie Balsita.
I'm Renisha G.
I'm Will Rice.
I'm Nora Hamilton.
I'm Ayla Fielder.
I'm Archie Gadgade.
All right.
Okay. B3 is our character development initiative at Nickajack Elementary School. The 3 B's stand for Be a Better Brave. Nickajack Braves strive to be respectful, be responsible, and be role models.
Being respectful means listening and following directions.
Being respectful means walking quietly in the hallway.
Being responsible means keeping up with your assignments.
Being responsible means completing your homework.
Being a role model means setting a good example for younger students.
Being a role model means doing the right thing even when no one's watching.
At Nickajack Elementary, we strive to be respectful, responsible role models in all that we do. We begin our day by reciting our school chant on the morning news broadcast or B3 TV. Are you ready, Braves?
I am a Nickajack Brave. I am a respectful, responsible role model, and I am ready to learn. Positive thoughts plus positive actions equals positive results. Make it a great day. The choice is yours.
All right. These are fifth graders, which is just amazing. I couldn't do that today at my age, but if you're a parent or a friend, would y'all stand up if you're associated with Nickajack in any way? Yeah, okay, good deal. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming tonight. That was great. Don't forget to vote tomorrow, fifth graders. Item B, 2018-446, proclamation and recognition of Veterans Day Poppy Weekend, November 10th to the 11th, 2018. I know there's some folks here from the American Legion. If y'all step forward, I'm going to ask Councilmember Corky Welch to read that proclamation, and then I want to give the first $5 bill for a poppy.
We'll take the first 100.
Yeah, but I ain't had a $100 bill in a long time. Corky.
I'll read the proclamation. I'll come present it at that time. A proclamation by the mayor of the city of Smyrna, Veterans Day Poppy Weekend. Whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by citizen soldiers, and whereas millions who have answered the call of arms have died in the field of battle, and whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who have died in war, and whereas the red poppy has been designated as a symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars, and whereas the American Legion Auxiliary has pledged to remind America annually of this debt through the distribution of the memorial flower. Now, therefore, I, A. Max Bacon, Mayor of the City of Smyrna, Georgia, do hereby proclaim November 10 and 11, 2018, Poppy Weekend, and ask that all citizens pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my seal and caused the seal of the city of Smyrna to be affixed upon the 5th day of November in the year of the Lord 2018. Mayor A. Max Bacon.
You present that. You say something?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Council. The auxiliary from Post 160 in Smyrna will be out in force Saturday and Sunday at 3 locations in Smyrna: the Walmart at East West Connector at Floyd Road, the Kroger at South Cobb and Concord, and the Kroger at North Church and Atlanta Road. We'll be there from 10 to 4 both days, getting donations. Please come out and please support your veterans. Thank you.
Thank you. Just kidding. That's all I got at 5. Okay, while she's accepting the donations, we will move on into the item C, 2018-459, Smyrna Youth Council recognition. Scott Andrews, I think we got some folks here with our newly formed youth council. If you want to take it and go, then I'm going to ask Tim Gu, who chairs the education committee, to administer a oath to them. So tell us about this, Scott.
Thank you, Mayor. As many of you may know, we kicked off the Youth Council. This is our first year. Ashley Yeomans, put your hand up, Ashley. Ashley's done a lot of work with the Youth Council, and we're really proud of the group we have. So these 11 students represent 3 different schools, and you're going to get to meet them for the first time tonight as they're sworn in. And I'm going to defer to Councilmember Tim Gould.
Are you going to call them down, or how's this working? This is unrehearsed. Can y'all tell?
Yeah, Youth Council members, would you please come forward? It's photo op time. I'm going to swear
Yeah,
you
we
in
wanna
first.
find out
Come on
who-
up front, guys. Come on up front.
Who they are and where they attend school. I think everybody's here except for two. Now, what I want to know is how did the last guy get so lucky?
Introduce yourself, what year and what high school you go to? Okay.
I'm Emily Damron, and I'm a senior at Campbell High School.
I'm Adiah Thomas, and I'm a sophomore at Whitfield Academy.
I'm Peyton Nicholson, and I'm a junior at Campbell High School.
I'm Shri Patel, and I'm a senior at Campbell High School.
My name's Adria Stevens, and I'm a senior at Whitfield Academy.
I'm Lily David, and I'm a sophomore at Whitfield Academy.
I'm Naila Morris, and I'm a sophomore at Atlanta International School.
I'm Siri Gullidge, and I'm a sophomore at Whitfield Academy.
Brendan Porter, senior at Campbell High School.
So this is really an exciting new project that Scott Andrews and Ashley Yeoman's really spearheaded, and it's really nice to see this take off. It's a good chance for us who are outside the school community to see the really talented kids that we have here in the Smyrna area. So we're very fortunate to that. So I guess what we're going to do is raise our right hands and repeat after me. We can do that, okay? Do it together. I do affirm that I desire to be a member of the Smyrna Youth Council, that I will honestly and faithfully perform the duties assigned to me, that I will abide by the rules which govern Smyrna Youth, that I will abide by the rules which govern Smyrna Youth Council members. There you go. And I will be a good role model for all youth in Smyrna.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Okay, hold it. Before y'all sit down,
Brendan.
Don't be intimidated by these girls now. No, I'm kidding. They've already had like an election amongst themselves, Scott, Ashley. So there's one. They've got a mayor and what else?
Mayor? So if you're the mayor, raise your
Oh well, if he was ready, if he's the mayor, he can go anytime he wants to. And then there's what is there? There's a.
We have a mayor pro tem, secretary treasurer, and 2 chair roles. What I forget, guys?
Community service and outreach and communications.
It's a good deal. Thank y'all. We're missing 2 members, maybe.
Yes, we are. These guys are razor sharp, and all of them have a heavy class load, and they're all in 5 organizations and chairing and president of this and that. We're really lucky to have them here, and I know they're light years ahead of where I was at the same age.
They're light years ahead of you right now.
That's true. That's true.
Me too. If I didn't love him, I wouldn't say that. Well, thank y'all very much. We're going to see how this turns out, and
One photo.
get a picture.
Quick photo.
Ashley, get in the picture. Scott, why don't you get in the picture too? Let somebody else take it. There you go. Oh, look at them. There you go, Whitfield and Atlanta International. Thank Mr. Mayor, do you want to say anything?
Nice job, guys. Thank you.
That means no. That means no. Thank y'all so much. Item 4, land issue zonings and annexation. A, as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, will be tabled 2018-347. That will be tabled till December 3rd. I'll ask that Tim Gould make the motion to table. And
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to table 2018-347 on the advice of staff. The item will be tabled until December 3rd Mayor and Council meeting.
Second. Motion is second to table. All those in favor of the motion? That is approved 7-0. Thank you very much. Item B, actually, item B through H deals with one particular issue, and that is variances at the location, and I'll read that, and then there's approval to annex a property, and then we go back and we approve for those same variances. So item B, 2018-433, public hearing only, variance request V18-065, reduction of building setback from residential property for veterinary clinic from 200 feet to 60 feet, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street, PWH Engineering, Inc. Scott, do we want to read all three of these?
I don't think you need to read them all through. I think you can have a single hearing for all three of these. Just call them, and Rusty covers them in the staff report.
Okay.
For that.
Item C is a variance request also, accessory structure from 25 to 5 feet, and a variance request a reduction of residential buffer from 10 to 5 feet. Ms. Jones, you want to give us the background?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Good evening, everyone. PWH Engineering Incorporated is proposing to annex the existing building at 1741 Spring Street into the city of Smyrna to open a new pet grooming, boarding, and veterinarian clinic. The applicant has requested several variances to convert the existing building from an office to a veterinarian clinic and pet groomer. The subject property is 0.31 acres and is currently zoned general commercial in Cobb County. Community Development recommends approval of the requested variances with conditions. Senior Planner Rusty Martin is here to give more detailed information on the annexation and variance request.
Is the applicant here? Okay, step forward. Now, Scott, on these, we conduct the public hearing, right?
Right.
All right. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that's in opposition to or that would like to make any comment concerning any of these three variances and the annexation of the property? Anybody here wants to make any comment concerning that? Okay. You want to swear him in? Okay. Just for the record, will you identify yourself?
I'm Gunnar Oberbeck. I'm the realtor representing Mary E. Fisher, the seller.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is Miss Marilyn Blackman's district, and I'm sure she'll want Rusty Martin to give us some.
Yes, Mr. Martin, if you will, please give us some information and background on this as well.
Good evening. This is a variance request that's associated with a request for annexation into the city. The property is at 1741 Spring Street, which is essentially right across the street from Sky King Fireworks and next to Town and Country Veterinary Clinic or Spring Street Veterinary Clinic. The request is to annex the subject property that's highlighted up on the screen. Currently in Cobb County, it is Zone GC. They're requesting to annex this property into Smyrna and maintain the same zoning designation, which would be Zone GC in the county as it would in the city once it's annexed. There is no request to change the uses allowed under the GC, so it'll still remain a general commercial property. With this request, though, they are proposing to do some veterinary clinic activities, pet groomers, and dog boarding activities on the site. Under our GC zoning classification, we have some conditional use requirements, which requires at least a 200-foot setback for all veterinary and boarding uses. And then the accessory structure at the rear of the property, which I'll show you a better picture of in a minute, our zoning ordinance requires that it be a minimum 25 feet from the rear property line. This is an existing structure, so they're trying to bring it into conformity, as well as that structure is also in the location where a 10-foot landscape buffer is required by our zoning ordinance. As I stated previously, these are the three listed variances. The first one is to reduce the residential or the setback from the veterinary clinic to residential property from 200 feet to 60 feet. Number two, reduce the rear setback requirement for the existing accessory structure from 25 feet to 5 feet, and then a reduction of the landscape buffer along the rear property line that adjoins the residential property from 10 feet to 5. Here's a survey of the existing property as you see it today. You have the single-story wood frame structure. It is facing Spring Street, and then you have the accessory garage at the rear of the property about 5 feet off the rear property line. This is just illustrating what the variances are for that. There's a 200 to 60, and then for the accessory structure, the 25 to 5 and 10 to 5. This is a picture of the property as it stands today. So this is existing conditions that you're looking at. And then these are adjoining properties to the south, east, and west. And just to give you some context of what the general area looks like. Community Development has reviewed the requested variances and is proposing approval or recommending approval of the request with the following conditions. First, with the requirement that the applicant install a 10-foot evergreen landscape buffer along the rear property lines and side property lines that abut the residentially zoned or used property. Number two, install a 6-foot privacy fence along the rear property line. Number three, shall prohibit dog runs and kennels outside on the property. Number four, the accessory structure shall be soundproofed if they plan to use it for the boarding of animals. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Has the applicant agreed to all these conditions?
I believe so.
Yes, we'll certainly meet any recommendations.
Any other questions for Rusty? Okay, if the applicant will come forward and tell us who you are.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council, for the opportunity to present our property for annexation into the city. My name is Gunnar Overbeck, and I represent Mary E. Fisher, the owner of the property proposed for annexation. The subject property, as discussed, is a 0.31 acre located at 7041 Spring Street in Cobb County, Zone GC, currently used as a homes recovery service for addictive, emotional, and eating disorders. Existing improvements include a 1-story frame, detached garage, concrete drive, and parking areas as Rusty already showed. We would like to annex the site into the city as general commercial for the use as a pet and grooming and cat boarding facility. We will need the following variances as presented: the V18 065, V18 66, and V18 67. All adjacent property owners have been approved the proposal. The annexation will remove an undesirable island zoning in Cobb County. We believe that this proposed use is compatible with the existing commercial uses in this area. The east adjoining property, 1753 Spring Street, was annexed with similar variances in 2005. We will fully comply with the staff recommendation. The required landscaping buffers, privacy fence, and soundproofing will improve the existing conditions and reduce the impact to adjacent properties. Thank you so much.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's, I'm gonna say that we have concluded the public hearing on all.
Sorry, I have a question. I just didn't have, I wanted to ask Scott. Is that, can I do that? Or
Scott who?
Cochran? Well, I wanted to ask you a question in terms of the soundproofing. What does that mean exactly in terms of a legal definition, and what is the decimal level that would permit
Look
the
at it,
soundproofing?
Rusty, can you kind of join me in this answer?
Yes. Our thoughts with requiring the soundproofing is that they would, if they plan to use this building as a boarding or housing dogs for the site, that they would submit architectural plans that would meet the requirement of soundproofing the structure, so no noise within the structure can be heard outside. So we'd allow the architect to design that, and then we would review it through our building inspections department, and our chief building official would look at that and determine whether or not it's acceptable. And if it is, then we'd issue the building permit, and they would build it, we'd inspect it, and if it's built according to the plan, then we'd issue the CO to allow them to occupy the building.
So they could get a CO for the main structure without using the accessory structure, but they would have to get a separate CO for that accessory structure then? Is that correct?
When they applied to operate a business out of the entire property, they'd have to make a determination at that point as to what they're going to use that structure for. And then if they decide not to use it and they just decide to use it as storage, or they decide to tear it down at that point, they'd make that determination when they apply for a business license application.
And as far as the noise level, it could be soundproofed so that there was no noise versus I know our decimal level in terms of what's acceptable under our noise ordinance might be different than what what would happen there. Is that what you're saying? That there would be no noise?
Yes, it would be below what was allowed through the noise ordinance.
Oh, it would be what's under the noise ordinance? Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, I'm closing the public hearing on item B, C, and D. Item E, 2018-430 is approval of ordinance 2018-11, annexation request, 100% ownership, requesting annexation land lot 632, 17th District, 2nd Section, Cobb County, Georgia, .33 acre tract, 1741 Spring Street, Smyrna, Georgia. Ward 3, effective date would be December the 1st, 2018. Ms. Marilyn Blackman.
Thank you, Mayor. I move for approval of ordinance 2018-11, annexation request, 100% of owners requesting annexation, land lot 632, 17th District, 2nd Section, Cobb County, Georgia, .33 acre tract at 1741 Spring Street, Smyrna, Georgia, Ward 3, effective date December the 1st, 2018.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? I just want to tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all annexing this property into the city. It's surrounded. We're so glad to have you. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion?
Oh, I thought we get to discuss, or
okay.
I just wanted to discuss this item for a moment. How our ordinance requires a 200-foot setback for boarding of animals, and this request is asking that be reduced to 60 feet. Well, that is 60 feet for the main structure, but for the accessory structure, it's 5 feet from the property line, and I'm not comfortable with reducing that amount for the boarding of animals. So we'll have to, I am happy that they want to annex in, but I feel like that's a quality of life issue for the residential properties, and I feel like it's very important that we have some kind of protection there in terms of that. And I think that I know our noise ordinance, and in terms of the decibel level and the distance requirement, the way it's measured, I have concerns that if it allowed for animals to be stored in the accessory structure, that could be a quality of life issue for our residents.
Any other comments? I would just say this without getting into any debate. They could stay in the county and do exactly what they're doing here tonight, and we wouldn't have any control over it. So at least we have control. And I'm happy that they're annexing in, and you have a similar facility next door. So I personally, I'm good with it. So if there's no other discussion, I'll call the question to approval of 2018-430. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please vote. That's approved 6-1 with Ms. Wilkinson objecting. So, item F, 2018-437 is the final vote. Variance request V18-065, reduction of building setback from residential property for veterinary clinic from 200 feet to 60 feet, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street, PWH Engineering. Ms. Blackburn.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, if there's no further discussion, I would like to move for approval. 2018-437, variance request V18-065, the reduction of building setback for residential property for veterinarian clinics from 200 to 60, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street.
Have a motion to, and a second to approve this variance request. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion? Who we waiting on? That's approved 5-2 with Ms. Bluestein and Ms. Wilkinson voting in the negative. Item G, 2018-438, final vote, variance request V18-066, reduction of rear setback from an accessory structure from 25 to 5 feet, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street, PWH Engineering. Ms. Blackman.
Thank you, Mayor. If there's no further discussion, I would like to move for approval variance 2018-438, variance request V18-066, reduction of rear setback for an accessory structure from 25 feet to 5, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street, PHW Engineering.
Second. A motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 5-2 with Ms. Bluestein and Ms. Wilkerson voting in the negative. Item H, 2018-439, final vote, variance request V18-067, reduction of residential buffer from 10 feet to 5 feet for existing or accessory structure, 0.31 acres, land lot 632, 1741 Spring Street, PWH Engineering. Ms. Blackburn.
Thank you, Mayor. And if there is no further discussion, I move for approval of 2018-439, variance request V18-067, reduction of residential buffer from 10 to 5 feet for existing accessory structure, 0.31 acres, land lot 632-1741 Spring Street, PWH Engineering.
We have a motion and
Second.
a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 5-2 with Ms. Bluestein and Ms. Wilkinson voting in the negative. Item 5 is previous licenses. We have none. Item 6 is formal business. A, Resolution 2018-10, approval to adopt Resolution 2018-10, the City of Smyrna as a sustainable city by continuing the existing environmental programs and encouraging future sustainability programs. Ms. Tammy Sadler-Jones, the background, please.
This is a resolution concerning sustainability programs that the City of Smyrna already has in place. For example, we have a Smyrna Recycling Center, a biodiesel program at our Public Works facility, LED traffic lights, and a no idling policy, just to name a few. The resolution also indicates a willingness by the City of Smyrna to look into other programs that will increase the sustainability of the city. The city's Keep Smyrna Beautiful director, Janet Lieberman, is the staff person that is leading and assisting in sustainability efforts for our city. Staff does recommend approval of the resolution.
This is sort of co-sponsored by Councilmember Corky Welch and Marilyn Blackburn. Marilyn, I think, brought this to us initially. So I'll turn it over to either one of you folks to, I think they're going to do this in unison or something. I don't know.
We're going to sing lullabies. Thanks, Mayor. I just want to say that I'm really excited that we're going to have the opportunity to continue with what we are doing as far as sustainability is concerned, but also have the opportunity to look at other options that are open to us. I know that there's so many individuals out there that I've had an opportunity to talk with as it relates to sustainability and how powerful an economic impact this can have for our city, and I think that that's absolutely wonderful. I've also had the opportunity of meeting with several of our community members who are here tonight, and their group, which is called Sustainable Smyrna. And they have meetings that are very, very good meetings, and I just continue to encourage the community to come out and join us, and looking for additional opportunities as it relates to sustainability in Smyrna. I'm excited.
Corky, you want to read the resolution for council's approval?
I don't have it. I would like to add to some of what Marilyn said. As we've discussed, many of these things, the city is already doing right, and there's a lot of things that the council before us set the wheels in motion to do a lot of things that that put this sustainability option already on the table, and many of these things, as we said, are already being done. Compared to a lot of cities in the state of Georgia, we're well ahead of the game. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve item 6A, Resolution 2018-10, as previously read. Do you want to read it?
Mayor, read, yeah.
Yeah. I read one already.
Okay, I'll read this one. City of Smyrna Sustainability. Whereas the City of Smyrna is a growing, vibrant community interested in bringing the best quality of life to its residents, and whereas the City of Smyrna Mayor and City Council believe that sustaining the natural environment is one way to assure that quality of life, and whereas the City of Smyrna values citizen engagement and involvement in processes, and whereas the City of Smyrna already has sustainable programs in place. And examples of these programs are our recycling, our Keep Smyrna Beautiful, alternative fuels, energy efficiency, our tree board, community garden and farmers market, our Fire Station 5, which has lead certified designation, biking and walking trails, whereas the mayor and city council see the value in these programs and in educating the residents about these programs, and whereas the mayor and city council desire to be an example of environmental stewardship. Now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and city council of the City of Smyrna will look to continuing to be a leader by sustaining and enhancing their environmental programs, engaging the citizens of Smyrna in those efforts, and meeting or exceeding the environmental standards through exploring other sustainable opportunities. This, the 5th day of November 2018, Mayor A. Max Bacon.
That's in the form of a motion, or who? Okay, Marilyn.
And I second.
Okay, so any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0, perfect. Item 6B, Resolution 2018-11. Adopt a resolution 2018-11 revising the borders of the Smyrna Market Village District. Ms. Jones. I'm good. I'm good, I think.
As defined in the amendment to Section 6-46, carry-in prohibited of the City of Smyrna Code of Ordinances, the carry-out of alcoholic beverages is only authorized in areas that are designated as a restaurant district by a resolution from mayor and council. This is a revision to the Smyrna Market Village Restaurant District as defined in Resolution 2018-04 to include areas extending to the roundabout along Village Green Circle and the area between the community center and Atlanta Road, ending at Powder Spring Street. Staff does recommend approval. And Assistant City Administrator Scott Andrews, did you want to add to this one?
Sure. Just to follow that up, as many of you are aware, the downtown was adopted 6-7 months back. The intention was, if there is no issues, to proceed and grow. So you'll see the downtown area in the map has grown, and with the addition of Belmont, Jonquil, and Riverview Landing.
Actually, item B, C, D, and E are all related to designating a restaurant district in other locations.
Yes.
This one, of course, is expanding revising the borders. So we'll take item B first. Mr. Norton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is, like they've said, this is taking the restaurant district that we passed in the Market Village earlier this year that was widely supported by businesses and citizens alike, and extending it to the full Market Village. And then you'll see the next few items are in other areas. So at this point, I'll make a motion to approve item 6B, Resolution 2018-11, that extends the borders of that in the Market Village.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0. Item C, Resolution 2018-12, approval to adopt a resolution 2018-12 designating Belmont as a restaurant district. Ms. Jones, is there anything you need to, we're just creating another district? Do we have that, can we bring that up, or is that on the?
Do you have that available?
Okay.
I think it includes everything in Belmont except the school. Is that correct?
That is correct. It does not include the school.
Okay. Mr. Norton.
At this point, Mr. Mayor, I'll move to approve item 6B, designating Belmont as a restaurant district.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Approved 7-0. Item D, Resolution 2018-13, approval to adopt Resolution 2018-13 designating the Jonquil Plaza as a restaurant district. Mr. Norton.
Yes, sir. I'll move to approve item 6D, designating the Jonquil Plaza as a restaurant district.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Approved 7-0. Item E, Resolution 2018-14, approval to adopt Resolution 2018-14 designating Riverview Landing as a restaurant district. Mr. Norton.
And I'll move to approve item 6E, designating Riverview Landing as the restaurant district.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Approved 7-0. Just to note that these were restaurant districts that were requested by both Belmont, Jonquil, and Riverview. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. Staff has communicated with Halpern, and they were thrilled. And the restaurants previously that had this in Market Village were very excited about that. Staff also communicated with the developer, Riverview, this past Friday. And as you're aware, they were excited as well.
Yep. Okay. All right. Good deal. Item F, 2018-461, approval of the Ward 6 appointment of Gene Manka to the Smyrna Tree Board to fulfill term expires in August of 2020. Tim Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a pleasure to have Gene volunteer to fill the open seat of the Ward 6 seat on the Smyrna Tree Board. She's, a couple know whether she finished the Citizen Academy last year, the inaugural academy, which I think is a great time. I mean, great event to be part of. I think we're finishing in the 2019 here shortly. So I appreciate her dedicating her time to the city and volunteering it'll be a lot of work on the tree board, and I know she's active in the Forest Hills area already. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I move to approve item 6F, 2018-461, approval of the Ward 6 appointment of Jean Mankey to the Smyrna Tree Board to fulfill the term expiring August 2020.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0. Item G, 2018-462, approval of Ward 4 appointment of Joe Purse to the Smyrna Tree Board to fulfill term expiring August of 2020. Mr. Corky Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to offer my thanks to Ms. Jan Campbell, who was on this tree board when I came on city council 7 years ago. She was serving, I believe it was Ward 6 at the time, or 7, excuse me. And I spoke with her this past Sunday. She had asked me if I could find another representative to serve on the board, and thanks to Mr. Tim Gould, we were able to put that together. But Ms. Campbell had served at least 10 years, she said. So many thanks goes out to her, and I assure you, if they took roll at those meetings, I know she was probably there because she told me she's still going to attend. But I'd like to express my appreciation to her for serving in such a long capacity and doing a great job of it. With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept Ms. Jan Campbell and approval of item 6G, 2018-462, to appoint Joe Pruss to the Smyrna Tree Board.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0. Jan Campbell, she's one of my neighbors, so she's a great person. She put a lot of time into that. Item H, 2018-470, authorize the acquisition of real property by all lawful means for improvements to Windy Hill Road. This authorization includes adopting a resolution and declaration of taking for each parcel. Ms. Jones, the background, please.
These parcels are authorized to be acquired through negotiating and declaration of taking, and either the mayor or mayor pro tem are authorized to execute such documents. The properties are situated adjacent to the existing right-of-way and within an area stretching from the intersection with Atlanta Road to the intersection with South Cobb Drive. The addresses are 1085 Windy Hill Road, parcel number 2, 945 Windy Hill Road, parcel number 12, 515 Windy Hill Road, parcel number 52, and 902 Windy Hill Road, parcel number 103. Staff does recommend approval.
Mr. Ron Fennell.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the acquisition of real property for those 4 parcels mentioned and enumerated, and it's 2018-470.
Motion is second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 6-1 with Ms. Wilkerson voting in the negative. 7 is commercial building permits. We have none. 8 is the consent agenda. Ms. Jones, will you please read the consent agenda for council's approval?
Consent agenda reads as follows. Item A, approval of the October 15th mayor and council meeting minutes. Item B, approval of the October 15th, 2018 pre-council meeting minutes. Item C, approval of the September 27th, 2018 committee of the whole meeting minutes. Item D, approval of revisions to personnel policies RSK 3-0 account accident reporting, risk RSK 3-1 Safety Accident Review Committee, and BEN 6-0 Longevity Pay, and authorize mayor to execute related documents. Item E, approval to renew management services agreement for Smyrna Food Truck Tuesday with JRM Management Services Incorporated for a $0 impact, and have the mayor sign and execute all related documents. Item E, approve the closing of the following streets for the Smyrna Parks and Recreation Home for the Holidays: Bank and Stevens at the Dennis Parking, West Spring Street at the Gazebo, Bank at Village Walk, Atlanta Road at Village Green Circle, Community Center parking lot entrance from Village Green, and parking lot at Village from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Tuesday, November 27th, 2018. Item G, approve retroactively the road closure of Millwood Trail at the entrance of Heritage at Vinings for October 31st, 2018 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And item H, approval to use council chamber for Smyrna Market Village HOA meeting Wednesday, December 5th, 2018 from 6:30 p.m., to 8:30 p.m.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Motion is second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor of the motion? Approved 7-0. Item 9 is committee reports. We'll start tonight with Mr. Derek Norton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have a committee report this evening, but I just want to encourage everybody to exercise your right to vote tomorrow if you haven't already done so. I'm one of the ones that waited till Election Day. Laura and I always go together on Election Day, and I'm not sure that was a good decision or bad decision. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But I hope all of you will go out to vote, and with that I yield.
Ms. Andrea Bluestein.
Luckily, I voted early. I went out to Jim Miller Park. I'd never been out there before. 15 minutes. It was great. So, but, yeah. So anyway, please vote tomorrow for the candidate of your choice. Thank you.
Ms. Marilyn Blackburn.
Thank you, Mayor. Want to take the time to welcome a new employee to the City of Smyrna family, Henry Valencia. It's with our sanitation department, so welcome, welcome. Also want to say hello to my wonderful friends and constituents out there and of the Smyrna Sustainable Group. Thank you all for coming out tonight and being part of this. It's great. I look forward to even more happening as we continue to move forward with more sustainable good stuff. And last but not least, please, please vote. Exercise your right to do so. Have a good night.
Mr. Corky Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to say I'm one of those people that waited too, so I'm going to be there early in the morning. But I did want to invite everybody to come out for Veterans Day this coming on the 11th. To the Veterans Memorial down here. It starts at 2 p.m. So please come out and join us.
Ms. Susan Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to reiterate the reminder for everyone to vote, and also I'd like to mention that House District 41, which is up for a vote tomorrow, that Ward 5 actually falls in District 41. So it's very important that Ward 5 members keep that in mind and make sure you get out and vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Mr. Tim Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple quick things. One, Forest Hills Preservation Group had a wonderful fall festival yesterday. Great community event. It's great seeing folks out there. They had a great chili cook-off that I had a chance to participate in on the testing side. But they had a quick auction, and the proceeds went to benefit the Best Friends Animal Society. So it was nice to see a neighborhood get together for some bonding and then for some fundraising for a worthy cause. And then if I take a parental moment of pride here, mentioned it before, the Campbell High School softball team made state playoffs, and they did very well under the leadership of Coach Kimbrell and some really talented young women. But recently, today, they announced the all-region team, if I can just name them off real quick. A freshman, Deja Gresham, is on the second team, and Joy Tylick, who's a junior, made the second team. There's 6 girls made the regional team altogether. Gio Ellie is a senior. Lindsay Sear is a senior. Bella Galloway is a sophomore. And Abby Gould, no coincidence, same last name.
Got the same last name you
Same
do.
last name. It's amazing, isn't it? She got her athletic ability from her mom, obviously, and she's a freshman. So it's really remarkable. I mean, a couple quick things is parents are heavily involved, growing the program. Coach Kimbrell and his teams are dedicated and working really hard, and you got some really talented kids out there. You know, in the largest school in the county playing against, in our region is East Coweta, who's the state champion 2 years in a row. So they got some heavy competition, and 7 girls made the regional team. So it's good for them. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations. You're a good father. Dad. Ron Fennell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 3 business items and a couple of personal ones. Our finance committee met and had our regular report, but the information we obtained there was that the year ending FY18 with a surplus of cash that is going to be dedicated to our ongoing priorities that have already been identified, and we'll be more specific soon with some allocations of those dollars. The Finance HR Committee, the Special Risk Management Committee, the mayor tasked 4 of the members of council with, submitted its final report in today to the mayor. It's available to the public. And it basically identified some challenges that we had and identified some solutions, and some action has already been taken that we feel will bring positive results for years to come. So I thank the team for putting this together and helping us out. On a personal level, we're going to all miss the mentorship and friendship of Harris Hines. He was a great human being. He was also a great judge, but he was a great human being, a good friend. He loved Smyrna. He loved Cobb County, and he mentored an awful lot of us, whether he realized it or not. And he mentored a young man from high school all the way through his law school years, who is now the Chief Justice of the Georgia Supreme Court, Harold Melton. It's a remarkable story where you can see from raw talent all the way through to his pinnacle achievement, that someone could spot that talent so early on as Harris Hines did in Judge Melton. I also want to congratulate Smyrna Soccer for another successful season. We had fits and starts, and we lost some days to weather, but the Parks and Rec Department did best to keep the fields in working order, and we appreciate all the kids. My sons played in their last game, and one scored 4 goals, and one other one scored 1 goal, but that was because the first half he was in goal defending against the shots of the other teams. I was proud of both of those, but it was a terrific team effort for the whole season for the Smyrna Soccer. We also want to recognize the Smyrna Slammers, once again, champions and continuing to go. I hate that after next year we won't be able to keep these kids together, but they've won everything that got handed to them, so we're proud of them. And again, remember that Smyrna is one of the 5 best communities to do business with in America. We're going to have a resolution at the next council meeting to brag a little bit more about it, but I don't think we can say enough positive things about the environment that is Smyrna. It's a great place to live, number 44 on Money Magazine's list, but Forbes Magazine recognized Smyrna as the 5th small town to do business in America, and we're proud of that.
Scott Andrews. Scott Cochran.
Said about Harris. Here we go. I want to echo some things some guys have said about Harris Hines. He was a Supreme Court judge, a Superior Court judge here when I was a young lawyer. And I can tell you from personal experience, he was as fair a judge as there ever was. And I think at the end of the day, that's what the community wants, is we want fair judges. He was knowledgeable, fair, polite, stern when necessary. But a good man. I was shocked and really sad to hear that right as he retired, or right after he retired, that he passed. So my condolences go out to the family, and I wish them well.
Ms. Graham? Yes.
Yes, I would just like to reiterate the voting for tomorrow. All of Cobb County can vote at the Cobb County Board of Elections main office on Whitlock Avenue. We will also have Smyrna 1A at Argyle Elementary School, Smyrna 2A at the Smyrna Fire Station number 3, Smyrna 3A will vote at Smyrna Community Center, Smyrna 4A will vote at King Springs Elementary School, Smyrna 5A will vote at Belmont Hills Elementary School, Smyrna 6A, Campbell Middle School, Smyrna 7A is at Life Church, Smyrna Assembly of God. Please get out and vote, and go, if you haven't voted, go to your precinct in Smyrna. Thank you.
Ms. Tina, you have anything? You're working, so, okay. All right, we do not have a show cause hearing. Citizens input, we've had 3 folks that signed up, don't know if they're even here. Deanna Harris, 641 Powder Spring Street. Tuesday's election, she's gone. Leonard Robinson, 1809 Teasley, Smyrna, Sustainable Smyrna.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, staff, just want to thank you for passing the resolution. It's a big deal. I want to also thank the most passionate, caring people I've ever worked with, which is the citizens. We call ourselves Sustainable Smyrna. We got together, we had a sustainability headquarters, which was we met, we wanted the city to be better. Started the process with and I excitedly look towards the future of working with each and every one of you. And speaking for the committee, we will be here to work with you to make. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Gunner, he was, I think he was with PWH Engineering. Is he still here? I think he just wanted to, he was 1862 Allgood Road, Marietta. His topic was 1741 Spring. So that concludes the citizens' input. If there's no other business brought before this body, I declare this meeting adjourned at 8:06. Okay, let's see. Whose pen did I borrow? This goes. I pay you back that quarter.